Welcome to Neon Nightmares, Haunted Campus, where the shadows of Whitebridge's past stir once more. Wildwood University's annual Halloween festival is in full swing, but this year, something darker lurks beneath the surface. Unexplained fires, strange possessions, and ancient forces long forgotten are beginning to rise. The air is thick with tension, and those attuned to the supernatural can feel the shift. These silent secrets are about to unravel, and tonight, the nightmares are real. So lock your doors, light your lanterns, and prepare yourself. This is Neon Nightmares, and the haunting has only just begun.
Welcome back to Neon Nightmares Haunted Campus Part 2. Last time, Whitebridge wasn't just a town celebrating Halloween. It was a hotspot for something much darker. Our three teens at Wildwood University are in deep trying to figure out what's behind the unexplained fires and the strange possession spreading through town. And while the rest of the town is busy enjoying the haunted festival, our heroes are piecing together clues. They don't know it yet, but this night will change everything. Let's see if they can uncover the truth before it's too late. And enjoy Neon Nightmares Haunted Campus Part 2. Yeah, you head in. Kimmy, almost immediately, you are welcomed by a familiar and very warm individual. So this person comes forward. They have like kind of shorter cropped hair, but they kind of wear it underneath scarves, and they're wearing just layers upon layers of clothing. Looks like they belong at a Ren fair, honestly. Jewelry, like maximalist jewelry, like 3 rings on each finger, and necklaces and crystals hanging from belts and their neck, and they look incredible and incredibly uncomfortable. There's a lot of things, and they rush forward to you, Kimmy. They go, "Kimmy, I am so excited to see you again. How are you?"
I'm good.
Oh, you might not remember me. I remember every single person that I have hypnotized. How are you?
Not talking like a chicken.
You're so funny. Still. Oh, God. Well, who have you brought here for me?
Well, she kind of like warms up to them now. This is Lewis.
Lewis.
You may know me as Lude Lou in the morning.
No, we don't.
I do not.
And then this is my person.
I'm Becca.
Becca.
Ah. And V kind of reaches forward to shake both of your hands to Lewis and also Becca. Do either of you shake their hand?
Sure.
My fingers are still claws, so no.
Okay. So they start by reaching for Lewis. They kind of shake your hand. And you see they kind of like turn their head and kind of like squint their eyes at you a little bit, and they go, "Huh." And then clears their throat, turns to you. Then Becca offers their hand, notices that you are not reciprocating, and really doesn't respond in like a negative way, but more so just kind of like pulls their hand back and goes, "Well, what has brought you to my store today?"
You been setting any fires lately?
Fate.
Why don't we have some tea? And V kind of heads back to their kind of big table in the back and does set about making some tea, but offers you all a chair at this big round table.
Kimmy? She's your friend. Do we have time for this?
I think if we want some answers, we're gonna have to play by their rules, yeah.
It's just a
Okay.
cup of tea.
So they sit down at the table and have cups, and they pour in front of you on the table 4 cups, and holds one in front of them. So, you think that because I am odd and mysterious and mystic that I have something to do with these fires. Is that right? Am I getting close?
No, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're odd and mystic, and it has everything to do with the fact of the golden strings pulling us together.
And you actually see recognition on their face. Wow. Well, that changes the type of conversation we're going to have here. Do these 2 know that they're dead?
I've just
Yeah.
recently learned, so...
Unfortunately.
Good. Then we can be very candid.
That's what I've been asking for all day.
Tell me, Becca, right?
Yeah,
Clark, if I'm not mistaken.
exactly. You know my name.
Yes,
Kimmy
I
said it
do. I
earlier.
know your name. I know your family. Which is why this is so very surprising.
Me coming here?
No. You being one of us. I'm assuming you're here because you followed your third eye to me. We are connected, you're right. But I didn't set your fires. Do you have anything
Becca
else
reaches a
you'd want
clawed
to-
hand out and taps the claw against the teacup and then picks it up.
You think these fires have something to do with our kind? And they actually do seem like genuinely curious about that.
Yeah, we have this very, very small buddy that works with us. Like, you know, wouldn't hurt a flea kind of kid. And then he, like, went all sort of ghost-eyed, and then looked like his skin didn't fit him right, and then he tried to set the building on fire. And then he didn't, like, remember doing it. So, like, it just kind of feels like something's, like, really at work here.
There's something.
Yes. I think you're right. Anything else you noticed? And they actually take out like a notepad and start taking notes about this.
Well, he said something kind of weird. It was ABT, unlock the cage. Does that mean anything to you?
Their face, like you can see that recognition and also a little bit of fear in the moment.
Uh-oh. That looks bad.
The name of your friend you said that did this. Who are they?
Logan Archibald.
Scrawny, redhead, glasses.
Yeah, he was in here. He had a receipt that led us here.
Yes. Do you know what ABT stands for? In regards to
I think it's-
Whitebridge?
Isn't that, like, what food stamps is, like, titled?
A best town?
Becca's trying to figure out that anagram.
And V gets up and goes over to like a bookshelf that has a bunch of different things on it. Actually goes down to like the bottom cabinet of it and unlocks it with a key that is hanging around their wrist and pulls out a rather old looking book. Small though. Like it's pretty, like almost like a pocket sized kind of edition. And brings it out and sets it on the table. And you see it says, tomes of Blackthorn. And if you remember from the receipt, the book was tomes of ... something. And so they kind of set that on the table and turn it so that you all can see it. Now, Whitebridge used to be called Blackthorn, this region. That is its original name. And kind of looks over at you, Becca. Becca, you probably would have known this. This is something that just nature of who your family is. This is something that is probably known to you. But it was like distant history. And like all histories and stories, there were folk tales. Blackthorn was no different. And they kind of slide the book across to the table to all of you so that you can look through it yourselves. If you open it up, it looks and reads that very first page so similarly to what you would find in like a Greek mythology book, right? It's telling these stories of like ancient heroes, but ancient in the sense of here, of Washington ancient. And like the earth before people settled here, and who these mythical and magical beings were, and their connection to this place. And you flip the page, and they kind of reach across the table and tap their finger on the page that you have there. It says, "Your Logan was very, very adamant that he got this book this morning. And I think it is because of this." And you see on the page, it talks about the Blackthorn Pantheon. And just like Greek mythology, it explains a pantheon of 12 gods that existed in this world and had domain over certain factions of things. And it's all very similar to what you'd read in those, that fictional mythology kind of thing. That's what this book reads like, almost like a children's book, almost, of just this tale, this wild thing. And what you see on the last page there, it talks about the acolytes of Blackthorn. A, B, T. Where is your friend Logan now?
Asleep in the car.
Did we leave the window open?
Locked in my car with ventilation. Asleep.
Interesting. I'm going to be quite honest with all of you. I don't know what is happening here.
When Logan came in, how was he acting?
Like a student who had a project to do. I get them every once in a while for folk.
But like stuttery, anxious,
Well,
or
yes,
was he put? Okay.
He definitely seemed like he had well, he didn't seem comfortable, but
He never seems comfortable.
He asked me if I had any books about the Pantheon. And it's been such a long time since I've even thought about the Blackthorn Pantheon that I honestly had to look for a while. I have a question for all of you.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything strange yesterday at 4:45 p.m.?
Yeah, actually. Now that's why Kimmy. That's what I was asking you about this morning.
Oh, that, yeah.
Weird, but yes.
I looked into it. I felt something shift. And if you are like me, you can also see certain things. But I couldn't get quite a clear picture. Perhaps maybe now, together, we could try again. And they kind of hold their hands out for you.
Oh, yeah, I haven't done like a witchy thing in forever.
I want to roll to keep my cool so that my claws go away.
Yeah.
Try to get them to go away.
Let's go for it.
8.
8, okay. Absolutely. So you do manage to resolve that condition in this moment. However, you feel that, like, that tension, it's almost like the surface tension of water at, like, if you are overflowing a glass. It's just those couple seconds where it hasn't spilled over yet, but it's right there. So it's still very close to the surface, and any small thing could set it off again, but you do manage to kind of revert. And do you, well, I know you do, Lewis, but do the other two of you join hands with V?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kimmy will, like, wipe her sweaty palms on her on her jeans first, and then place into... Oh, am I sitting next to Becca?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Yes?
Yes. 100%.
My hand's just out waiting.
She, like, just doesn't look at you, and just, like, takes it.
Be cool. Be cool.
And then holds on to Lewis.
So good. I would like all of you to roll to gaze into the abyss for me.
Group gaze?
We're doing a group gaze.
That's a failure for me.
Okay.
Also a failure for me.
Okay.
No.
Yup. 4 + 2.
8.
An 8. Okay.
At least one of us passed.
Kimmy,
Fucking hell.
Uh-huh.
if you'd like to,
I would.
a string on either one of these pulled, these two people, or V, any string on the 3 people that you're gazing with could add 1 to your roll.
I will pull my string on V that they gave me when they hypnotized me.
Yeah, so that is
A 7.
a 7. Incredible. So 2 partial successes. And Lewis, you kind of, for a second, you feel like you can't quite focus it in. You just can't get the foothold into that you normally feel whenever you've used this. But you feel that kind of, like, surge of power from the other people that have a hold on your hands, and it does kind of spur you forward.
Cool.
So you all have a group gaze into the abyss. And here's what you see. You're all sitting at this table, and the table remains, but everything around you dissipates into smoke. And it travels. You feel wind in your hair, almost as if the table itself is spinning through space and time to take you somewhere, to show you something. And when it stops, when the surrounding world stops spinning and starts to come into focus again, you are at a football game. It is dark. It is Halloween. You can tell. There's people celebrating, there's signs. There's posters hanging up on the wall that talk about the haunted festival tomorrow in Jacobsville, Maine. And your table...
This is the last one.
Your table is sitting nearly on the my table is rolling. Sitting on the 50-yard line. And as you glance around, you lock eyes on a football player. And this player stops the game somehow. Stops time entirely. And you see, as he does something to the earth and a relic in his hand, and you see a clock behind that reads 7:45 p.m., which would be 4:45 p.m. in Washington. And at that moment, he unlocks something, and you see cracks break in the earth. And while you're watching a silhouette, something come out of this relic in this man's hand, that silhouette kind of flies away, floats away towards the city. And your attention isn't drawn to that. That feels like a big thing. Something horrific was released. But in the release of that, something else happened. And you watch as golden cracks, and Becca, you recognize this a little more than the other two. golden cracks on the floor spread out, showing almost a connection to this ley line that you already saw. And as you are sitting on top of that 50-yard line and the cracks are happening along the ground, your table sinks into it and you land on the ley line and you travel it. You are rushing down this ley line, feeling just magic pressing against your faces and seeing those golden threads spreading out all over the place, dozens of them, to different people, to different places, to different creatures. And you don't have time to look, but as you are traveling through that, you see the end of this ley line, and you're almost in like a pool of it. Like it opens up into a lake of sorts of this magical energy and power. And circling this lake are 12 cages. You cannot see into them, but as those cracks continue, that shudder, that shockwave from Jacobsville, Maine, one of the cages unlocks. And you all open your eyes again, and you are in V's shop.
Did anyone else get like and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing sort of vibes from that? That was bad. Willy Wonka? No, just me?
No, I know the movie.
Okay.
What?
So what did that all mean?
That there's a loose god in Whitebridge and is maybe trying to let the others out or something?
You see V kind of like get really stressed and says, "Give me one moment. I think I have, now that I think I see what we're dealing with, I have some information. Give me just one moment. I'll be back."
Nice little Dave. Sex
Becca
Machina,
stands
love
up and
that.
says, "I swear to God, if that kid is still not in my car." And Becca goes to check on Logan.
Yeah, you head out and you get to the Porsche and you don't see Logan in your Porsche.
Awful.
And there's a moment where Becca's just like, "God, I can't believe Jake is going to be right again."
Yeah, Kimmy and Lewis.
When Becca gets up to leave, I think Kimmy also gets up and goes to the books that V keeps.
Yeah,
Because, nerd.
for sure.
And I think Kimmy will just kind of like, she'll put her hands behind her back and be like, yes.
Yeah, you're seeing a bunch of shit. Nothing else regarding to this, though, specifically. This was behind lock and key. But all of the things on display are your generic, like, palmistry and tarot and you know, charts aligning and those kind of things. Like how to read a birth chart. Like the very beginner mystics, honestly. And that's the majority of what you're seeing on display there.
Is there like a kitschy book of spells?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that Kimmy will pull that book from the shelf. Because she remembers, you know, all the stories and movies or whatever, like in the book of spells, there's like how to come back from the dead spell. And I think she's just like holding on to a little bit of hope in that.
Absolutely. Do you look at the spell or do you just kind of like hold on to the book?
I think she will actually like flip through it, and if there's like, you know, a listing for it, she will read it.
Yeah. You find a spot that does kind of talk about, you know, like it doesn't specifically say like bringing somebody back or anything like that, but it does talk about finding life in afterlife is kind of like the way they word it. And there is like an herbal spell written underneath it that has some ingredients and some instructions and a little spell.
I think I'll take that over to Lewis and kind of put it in front of him and say, like, point on it and say, what do you make of this?
It appears to be a recipe. No?
Look closer. Do you think it could work?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you could talk to V about it, I guess.
Would you want to try it with me?
Oh, like would I want to come back to like life?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Why?
I'm like honestly kind of fine.
Don't you struggle with the idea that you're, expired?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just didn't want to say dead.
Oh no, I mean that's fine. I've been at this for 67 years.
Are you, tired of it? Because
No, I mean it's kind of rad. Like, look, I mean there's the whole cliche of like everyone I love is gonna die, but that's already happened. So
that sounds really sad.
It is. I mean, but like also usually a lot of the people that you love, like even if I was a normal guy, would pass away. Everyone experiences death a little bit.
Do you wish you experienced actual death?
I mean, I did, and it was bad. It was pretty bad. Yeah, I got beat to death in an alleyway, in Philadelphia in 1920. It was real rough. So,
you see Kimmy kind of get a little mad. Is that person dead?
Well, I mean, yeah, it was 60 years ago. I have no idea who did this to me. I just kind of woke up and was different. But, like, I don't think I'd change it. There are things about it that I wish are different, but, the grass is always greener.
Like, what do you wish was different? Like, that you were alive? And she'll kind of push the book towards you.
Look, if you want to be alive, by all means, go for it. And I'll help you any way I can. I'm not 100% certain that if I did this spell on myself, I wouldn't, like, crumble. Because, like I said, I'm very old.
How do I want to say this? Have you gone to other colleges?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you like it?
Yeah, look, I don't know what it is. I've heard that there are some people like me that, like, go to high school, and it's like, why would you do that? Because then the expectation is, like, you can't drink, and also that's kind of weird just hanging out with children all day. And when it's, like, when you could go to college with adults. But yeah, I've gone to a lot of college. I think I've got 17 different degrees.
Oh my god, you're so smart.
No, not smart. We'll say I'm resourceful.
So the two of you are having this conversation, and Becca, you are outside. Becca, do you come back in after finding Logan gone, or what do you do? Okay.
I kind of come back in and throw the door open in a huff, bubbling. He's gone. Just like I kind of expected, he's gone.
Awful.
The window wasn't open enough for him to squeeze out of.
No, he unlocked the door from the inside.
Oh, yeah, that. So...
I really wanted it not to be his fault.
Well, I think it's still not his fault. I think whatever probably was like, hey, you should get out of there.
He's the one who came to get the books.
But you don't know the reason he came to get the books.
Oh, you just go to occult shops all the time and look up books about lost gods?
I mean, no, but like if something's, like influencing your dreams or something, and making you want to go look for answers about that, and then suddenly something has information that it needs and has its hooks in you, then...
I don't usually go looking for information on things that I should not know about.
Okay, but like, are you haunted by nightmarish visions and stuff? Who knows?
I am a nightmarish vision, Lewis.
I don't think you...
Look, that's neither here nor there. That, yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder and all of that.
You haven't seen it. You can make that decision when you do.
I've seen a lot of stuff, Becca.
The three of you start smelling smoke.
Fucking fuck.
And
Quickly?
Sorry,
what?
No, I was just going to say you see small tendrils of smoke seemingly coming from the back room where V just disappeared to.
I'll go kick down the door.
Kimmy, were you going to say something here?
Just Zach, do you think I truly listened to your struggles just now?
Probably.
Great. Heal one harm, and I take your harm.
That's awesome.
Wait, because you have two, right?
I have
Okay,
two
so
harm
you
right
heal
now.
one, and then I take your remaining, so you're at 0.
Oh, shit. So you take one, and I heal 2, essentially?
Essentially, yes.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So I was going to have to go Capri Sun someone.
But yeah, there's smoke coming from the back room. And it does seem to be getting thicker.
Yeah, I go and I'm assuming the door will be locked, so I just kick it really hard.
Was it unlocked?
Probably, yeah. But, so you kick this.
It's actually a
and
swinging door.
It just comes right back.
Yeah, I take a step forward and I go, oh my god!
Take
Another
that harm back. Yeah, you kick the door down and honestly, legitimately, take a harm because a flame, like a burst of flame.
So that's backdraft.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. As you open the door, comes barreling out at you and does kind of flame up in your face.
How the fuck did that happen so fast?
And yeah, this is a significant blaze that is happening in the back room, and it is starting to crawl into the front where you all are.
Can we at all, like, see V? Or are they...
You cannot see V from where you are right now.
May I gaze?
Absolutely.
Shit, something that big. There's no way we're stopping that.
Did you fucking fail? Mariah.
Did you just level up?
I have one more left. That is a 6. 4 plus 2.
Okay. All right. You try to gaze. You try to focus and lock in on V. But it's almost like you actually feel your mind, like something is trying to grab a hold of it for a second, or at least damper your mind. Like you feel an outside force stopping you from doing this gaze. Yeah, there's a blazing inferno, and it is climbing its way into the front of the shop.
All right, let's get out.
We
Get
gotta
out.
go.
Come on.
Yeah, I grab the book.
Okay.
Kimmy will leave.
Okay.
Is there a way to get to the back of the building from...
Yep, there's alleyways and stuff. There's like 3 right in a row that are kind of connected, but if you go around those, you can get to the back.
I just want to see if there's a back door that's open to know if maybe V set the fire and ran.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you sprint back there, and you get to the back door, and you actually see V standing just outside of the door. In safety, but smoke is still billowing. And as they hear you, they like crick their head towards you, like in an unnatural way. And you see that similar glazed look on their eyes.
I want to catch eyes, and I want to try to use my ability again.
Let's
and
do it.
gaze into the abyss. I need a 10.
Let's go.
I got 2 1s.
Oh no.
Which means that's a 1.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
We are not rolling well tonight in this group.
I think we die. I think we just
Yeah,
all die.
actually all 12 gods are out. You kind of ruined the world.
Solid.
The next 12 years of Halloween specials are done.
Yeah, we're all done. Yeah, no, you tried to do that, but I think you also feel in that moment something like putting a damper on your ability to do that. There's something that has a little more sway in your mind than you would have liked. And it just kind of like fly swats that away. It's just like, no, you're not going to do that. And you feel it like a physical thing. And V doesn't move. V just stands there watching you. The fire kind of blazing and building, and the smoke continuing to fall through that back door.
I hightail it back, and I think I say, obviously, the fires are following us, so maybe we go somewhere where there can't be, like, massive property damage.
Why is it following us, though?
Because this weird ley line connection thing, because...
But I wasn't at any of the other places that were on fire.
Yeah, were we? No?
No, as far as you know, the only connection that you know of is that your brother went to a couple of them in the wee hours of the morning.
But, like, to go there afterwards, yeah?
What were the other places?
Can we find a map?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have I'm
in my
Becca,
glove compartment.
You have a map. Yeah, like you have a map in your glove compartment. And so you take a moment. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you stay in front of the burning building?
Well,
No,
no.
let's get the fuck out of here. Back to Jack in the Box.
Porsche out of the parking lot.
Yeah. So you kind of are peeling out of there as you hear some sirens coming into the area. And you get back to a safe spot and you get out of the car, you lay the map out on the hood, and with a pencil you're circling some places that you know that fires were set. And what you're noticing is that now 6 of them, 6 fires, are in nearly a perfect circle around.
What's at the center?
I wonder.
Wow.
Is it the college campus?
It's the college campus.
Wow.
Whoa.
And Lewis, you grabbed the book, right?
Yeah.
You.
Oh, and can I also say I grabbed the spell book that Kimmy was looking at?
Absolutely. So Lewis, you feel this connection, this ley line connection that Becca keeps talking about, and it like pulses in a way that it feels like it wants you to read this book, right?
Okay.
So you start flipping through it.
Yeah.
Becca, you get a call from Jake
Do I have
on your
phone?
Porsche car phone. Yeah.
Okay. I was just checking.
Because you're rich and you have a Porsche car phone.
My box phone. In my
Yeah, it's
car.
this big. It is.
Yeah,
it's bigger than your forearm.
Kimmy is sitting on top of it in the back seat.
Yeah. Yeah, it is giant.
Oh, sorry.
But it rings for you.
Hello?
Becca, where the hell are you?
What? Jake, what?
Just,
Hi, Jakey.
are you safe? Are you...
Yes. Well, also, again, relative.
I need to tell you something.
Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that, you probably should have told me this something beforehand.
No, there's been people at each of these. We haven't shared it with the public because we have no idea what the hell we're up against right now. But we've found somebody at nearly every single one of these places.
Who said it?
Yeah.
Were they alive?
A version of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want you to get Logan. But Jake, he's gone. I don't know where he is.
Damn it. Okay, we will look for him. I just... Look, Becca, I think something really fucking weird is going on here.
Yeah, it is.
Just... I want to read you their names. Just tell me if you recognize any of them or anything, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And he goes through and he reads you a list of 6 names of people that... Although he is the only one that knows of Logan's name, but he does read you some names. Names that you don't recognize, really. Just people from the community.
Mark Dantes.
Mark Dantes.
I knew I...
Colton Rogers, Annalise Rivers, Jordan Card, Logan Archibald, Mary Walters, V. Wells.
Is that last one you just found?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
Like when it went up?
Yeah.
What the hell are you getting yourself into here, Becca?
You know, the fire seems to be following me, not the other way around.
Look,
We know the end goal. We don't know what their path is to the end goal, but the end goal is the college. It's something creepier than I ever thought could exist, something about cages and gods, and I think it's too big pretty much for anybody if it comes out. But there's something at the school.
Okay. I'll send units to the school. They're not going to let us cancel. You know they're not.
Well, then
This festival's like the biggest fucking thing they've ever done.
Then they'll have lives on their hands.
Look, Becca, I know that I don't know everything. Our family isn't exactly normal.
You're telling me this like I don't know?
No, I know you know, but what I'm saying is, Becca, Dad knew about the station fire before I even had a chance to tell him.
Well, you know, he has eyes and ears everywhere.
Right. Yeah. He also knew Logan's name. He let it slip. He thought... I don't know. He spoke it as if he thought it was in the record, and it's not. I made sure of that. He's not telling us everything, and I don't know why.
God, if he wanted this... You know I didn't want this, right? Like, if he wanted it so bad, he could have just taken it from me.
Yeah, well...
Great.
I don't pretend to know what he's thinking at all times.
Well, stay safe, and I hang up.
Mm-hmm. And so while they're having that conversation, Lewis, you're looking through the book.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, it's just a bunch of different mythologies, a bunch of different stories about this pantheon and the quests and adventures that they and their acolytes and their followers got up to in this mythical kind of like place of Blackthorn. But something kind of catches your eye as you're reading through. One of the gods specifically holds domain over the mind, nightmares, madness, reality, that kind of vibe. You read it over and over again in these stories of this specific god, the Mind Breaker, they keep referring to them as. And as you kind of flip through, there's a list. There's just a numbered list of the pantheon of this fictitious religion and mythology. And while you kind of get to this list, you see that this god, Erebos, the Mind Breaker, is listed as number 2. And as you kind of look through the list, there's a bunch, and it lists all their domains and the different things that they do. And there is one, the Flame Bearer, listed as number 10. And at about that point when you're getting there is when Becca hangs up the phone.
All right, so that was Erebos, the Mind Breaker, and then you said the Flame
Bearer.
Flame Bearer. Okay, so gang, developments. Book. There's one that's like whole thing is taking over people's brains and stuff, which sounds vaguely familiar. But there's another one, it's called the Flame Bearer, and that kind of fits on what's happening. It's numbers 2 and 10 in this little pantheon of 12. I don't know if those numbers are significant.
Yeah, we can't trust my dad.
Solid. Okay. Awful.
Does the book say maybe how to stop them?
Does it say anything about known weaknesses?
There is nothing in this book about them being locked up in any capacity. Like, it is very clear that this story stops before any of that occurs. As far as weaknesses go, though, it does mention, like the typical ones that you would think, like water, for the Flame Bearer. And then for like Erebos, it talks about like unwaking. So like people that don't sleep are a weakness.
Me.
But yeah, that's kind of what it talks about for those.
Sick. All right. We need to go to a store. We need to get some water guns.
Not to meta this, because I know that Becca doesn't know, but would there have been any relation between the flame bearer and Kimmy drowning? Do we think? Just throwing that out there. Somebody else can ask the question.
I haven't considered, but now I'm considering.
Nikki not saying anything means that that's correct. Just so you know.
Okay.
Awful.
Okay.
Well, to campus, I guess.
So what's Becca's god?
Well, I guess... I'm sorry?
What's your god? If I have the water one and Lewis has the mind one.
I'm this mind one.
You have the fire one, there's not a water one.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yikes, we got 3 gods on our hands.
Well, we only knew that I thought only one of the cages was broken, no?
In your vision, only one of the cages was opened, yes.
So it could be any one of them? But a bunch of different things are happening?
Well, I think it's fairly clear this is the fire one.
Well, yeah, but it's also taking over people's brains and making them set things on fire.
I don't think the same gods are doing those, you know? Unless the mind god was like, what if I play a prank on everyone and make them think I'm the flame god?
But how... I'm just trying to think, if there's only one of them that the cage came out, how are 2 different gods doing things?
You remember, all of you, Logan, when he was still under that weird haze, said ABTs, unlock the cage.
Acolytes of Blackthorn. So when Logan...
that's my dad.
Oh.
What?
Oh. That's your god.
Oh no, my dad's an acolyte.
Okay, so what? Was every fire opening a cage?
I have a feeling, and then the campus is like the big what they'll all go to. Because if 6 was half the circle, 6 more fires would be the rest of the circle, and then they gather at campus. So I don't know if we should go to campus or if we should try to find the buildings that are going to be the other 6 and stop them.
I don't know.
If only there was a supernatural way to look and get some answers about things.
I'm not gazing
bad
anymore.
at that.
Sorry.
You two, I think, do you have positive darks? I do not.
No, I don't have a positive
I have a negative
dark.
1 dark.
I have 2 dark. Does that mean I have to gaze?
Yeah, you have plus 2 to dark?
I'll give it a go. I haven't done it yet.
You have a negative 1 to dark, so.
I have a negative 1 to dark. Now, granted, if I feed from someone, then I can roll as if it's a +3, but I haven't fed on anyone yet.
Kimmy.
But like, it would have to be about you.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
I might be the choice then.
And it's specifically about their whereabouts or well-being, so it's fine. I'll just go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. What the fuck's happening? Let's give it a go. We're gonna do 1 die at a time because it's more fun that way. Die through that. We'll come.
Oh my god.
Neither of them landed in my thing. I'll be right back.
On the table, come on.
The cat's to take. All right, second attempt. We do this for real. All right, that's 1 6. All right, I need
2.
at least a 3, right? No. Yes. No. I need at least a 2.
No way.
No. Don't say it. No, don't say it.
Way.
Fake it. Lie. Now.
I rolled a 1.
Does anyone have a string on him? I don't.
Yeah.
You could pull it to assist here if you wanted. And then
You're being far too kind, MC.
Well, but I'm gonna make her work for it.
Nick's like, I'm trying to save my narrative. It's fine.
You're rolling so bad I have to change the rules of the game.
It's a one-shot, guys. you need to get these answers.
It's not our fault.
I know.
Okay, well, what do I have to do if I do that?
If you are going to add one, I need you to explain to me how your supernatural self assists a vampire in this case. It can look like anything, but supernaturally, how do you assist?
Yes. Okay. So I think despite the fact that Lewis has a thing about if like drinking my blood would show him where I was, I think that since this isn't directly drinking my blood, but it's using my blood to try to connect maybe with my family's history. And so it's like a little swipe of, I guess, prick swipe of blood onto my thumb, and then not necessarily like fully in his mouth, but like wiping it across his lips.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Lewis, you are trying again to try to get that foothold into this realm, this gaze plane, and you feel like you're not quite getting there. Just too much is jumbling up in your head. The threat of the mind breaker or whatever is just hanging over you right now, and you get this jolt, this taste, this delicious taste, right? And in like a burst, you break through whatever barrier was there, and you gaze. So go ahead and explain to me what your gaze looks like inward and outward, and also what question you were asking specifically.
Yeah, so outwardly, especially Becca, who just wiped her blood on my face, would watch...
Nicely?
Nicely. Would watch, obviously, like, the canines extend, and I think also the two next to it elongate a little bit, kind of doing like a whole four-fang sort of situation. The skin goes a little paler. You watch as the green eyes with sort of an orangish hue go blood red. The ears sort of go to points, like bats' ears might. And then inwardly, I've been trying to think about this, because like I don't think it's like vampire specific. I think it's more Lewis specific, and I think it's like a rolling like musical staff that is going by, and it's like as the notes are sort of showing up, it's almost like the music itself is telling the tale of whatever I'm looking for. I think specifically I'm looking for clarity on like next steps. Like, is there another ring of fires that's about to get set? Do we need to head straight for the campus? Like, sequence of events here.
Yeah, so here's what you see. First, you kind of burst through into this abyss because of that taste of that blood. And you get like a flash of pictures in your mind very, very quickly. Like, it's almost like it's in somebody else's gaze kind of jumps out at you for a second before you break all the way into yours. And you see beast-like creatures. Ancient beings standing at the feet of ancient gods. Briefly, it's just a moment, just almost like a, splash of blood on the lips or something, I don't know. But then you break into your music staff, and you're seeing it kind of speed up and move through. And you're watching it kind of arch, the staff, instead of going straight across this page in front of you, it arches into a circle. And you see notes get placed onto it, 12 of them, in very similar that you saw in that group gaze with V. And you think these notes have to represent those cages somehow. One of the notes is a whole note, and so you see that it is whole and empty in the center. And it is the second note, starting from the left. And as you look around, you follow this staff. The 10th note has smoke coming from it. The second cage is the only one that is open. The 10th cage needs a key. It needs 10 keys. And you pull out.
And for my own clarity, you said like it was same circle, 12 spots, yes?
Similarly to the cages that you saw.
Gotcha.
There were 12 notes. Looked like only one of them was open. Similarly to what you saw in that group gaze, only one cage was opened. The 10th one was still closed, but burning.
As I come back, I turn back from the almost monstrous sort of visage to just the handsome devil you all know.
Okay, does that mean then the gods have to be unleashed in order, so we wouldn't be able to unleash the 10th god until the other keys were, maybe I'm just speaking.
Well, yeah, it's just 2 is out already. Like, you wouldn't be able to let 2 out without letting 1 on.
There are currently 6 fires that have been set. The 10th cage needs 10 keys.
So there need to be 4 more fires.
Gotcha.
And then I assume the cage is somewhere on campus or underneath campus or the like. So I guess the choice still is, do we try to figure out where the other 4 fires are going to be and stop them? Or do we go and try to find the cage?
It would make sense to go stop the things that could open the cage first, but then that would just mean us running around hoping to be in the right location. So I don't know.
Do we know exactly where the Pantheon is on campus? Pantheon, that wasn't about right.
No.
It's just on campus.
From what you can tell based on the map, it does look like it seems to be circling campus.
Okay. Is there what's the mascot of the college?
Scorpion.
Looking on the map, the places we've circled, is there anywhere that stands out as like what could be next in the... Yes?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
There are... If you're following this kind of pattern and seeing the distance between them, absolutely there is definitely spots where it could be. There is some residential areas. There's like an apartment complex. There's the movie theater. There is a stretch of a couple bars that it could be in an area in downtown. And then like a museum or historical society place. And those, if you're looking at the map, seem to be potentially where those 4 spaces could be.
Well, what if we went to one of these and waited?
It's as good a plan as any.
It might not be the next on the list, but it'll be on the list eventually.
Yeah. What time is it, MC?
Yeah, so this has been going on for quite a while in the day. So we are getting into nighttime. The sun is starting to set. You're starting to hear like the loud Halloween music and the screams of people going through the mazes on campus. But yeah, definitely into the evening, 8 or 9 at least.
Nice. That's what I best operate.
May I gaze one more time?
Absolutely, you can.
Oh, God.
Come on.
Fingers crossed.
I would like to gaze.
Yeah.
Excuse me. About which fire is next.
Go for it.
Everyone blow on the dice. Oh, you literally can't see that, but thank you.
No.
Zipbox cars? That looks like a good face. 11?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, finally.
I almost joined a haunted house. That was not going to be fun.
Yes, 11. Okay. You like, what are you which fire is next? Is that okay, yes. You flash into that classroom with ease. Like it is like you want to be there and then you're there. There is no searching for it. You don't feel that mental block at all. And you are in that classroom. And in front of you, on all of the chalkboards, you see equations for figuring out, like, and you can tell it's figuring out distances between things, and it's finding points on a graph, like, which is exactly what you were all doing with the map just then. And so those are etched across the chalkboards. And as you look down at yours, the paper in front of you reads 4 different equations. And you can tell that it is representative of those 4 fires still left to be lit as keys. And when you get to it, you see that the answer to all of them seems to be midnight. All of them, for some reason. And as you look a little closer at the equations and you're pulling these apart and the answers are kind of coming to you a little stronger, you see that it isn't which one is next, but that they all have to be done by midnight. That really matters. And yeah, you kind of jump out of that. And yeah, that there is no order specifically, but all 4 must be set by midnight or the cage closes and remains locked, I should say.
So I will relay this information to the others and maybe ask the question if this influences us waiting around for the next fire or going to the source.
I mean, what would we do at the source?
I mean, this could work out in our favor, because I think, I could be wrong, but they were using somebody at that space to set the fire. So what if we went to one of these places and like removed everybody from the premises, so therefore there wouldn't be anybody on site to overcome and cause to start the fire? And if we delayed enough...
That's fair. It's not a bad idea. Maybe we stop at a hardware store and get some fire extinguishers just in case.
Wouldn't hurt.
I think they're quite expensive.
That's fine. I've got a lot of money.
Okay.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get some fire extinguishers.
So you go to a store and you get a bunch of fire extinguishers. Honestly, you're not the only one. People have been hearing the stories and hearing the rumors and seeing things. So you actually get like the last 3 that are even at this store, because everybody has just sold out of that today. And which of the potential 4 spots do you choose to hunker down at?
I think cinematically it should be the movie theater.
Literally.
I love that. Yeah. You head to the Whitebridge movie theater. It is a smaller, like 3-screen theater. And yeah, you're at the movies. And hold on, let's see, what came out?
Let's all
October
go to the
of 1987.
lobby.
Hold on, I need to see.
Let's all go to the lobby.
1987 movies release. Let's see. Domestic box office, let's go.
Oh no. Halloween?
Did Halloween come out?
Princess Bride.
Oh, hell yeah, it did.
Even better.
Okay, so here are the 3 movies that are playing right now at this office, or at this, whatever it's called.
Movie theater.
Jesus. Okay. Princess Bride, because it simply must. Oh, that's a good one, too. Oh, there's good ones. Okay, Fatal Attraction. And...
That's what's happening between Becca and Kimmy right now.
You're right.
It's gonna
And
happen.
Prince of Darkness.
They already did.
Yep. So those are the 3 movies playing.
What was the first one? Princess Bride?
Princess Bride, Fatal Attraction, and Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
But yeah, so you get to the movie theaters. It's about 10 o'clock. What do you do?
Does it look like there's a lot of people here?
Not really, honestly, because the biggest thing happening is... Yeah, there's a big thing drawing attention.
The event of the year?
The event of the year. Yeah, so maybe 4 or 5 in each theater, and that's it.
And the workers, I assume.
Yes, yeah, and employees. So maybe a total of like 15 people. Or no. A total of like 20 people in the whole building. 5 or so in each theater, and then a couple employees.
I'm going to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to the box office.
Okay.
Who's working at the box office?
Working at the box office
Maybe
is... It's
Dylan.
Wait, but Dylan's doing the mad scientist lab.
He forgot that he had to work tonight.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Boo.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
If he wasn't literally the mad scientist, I would give it to you.
Do you need me to charm someone?
A charm away.
What are you looking at? Just to have them clear the place out?
You might want to speak. You might want to get like a manager though, not just somebody who works in the box.
Yeah, I'm looking for someone like in a long sleeve
Speak to
shirt, not a short sleeve shirt.
Yeah, there you find the guy in the button up.
Nice.
And he's walking behind the concessions counter.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna walk like right up to him, and I'm gonna use hypnotic on him.
Like, oh,
Starting
hello,
strong.
how could I help you?
That went very, very good for me. That's a 12. I walk right up to him. I go, movie theater's not safe. You gotta get everyone out of here, including you. Yeah, and leave me your keys.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And hands you his keys.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
that. And goes and follows through on your orders. Gets the employees to go to the different houses, stop the movies, and get people evacuated. And then finally follows up with the employees, who are all very confused, but mostly like teenagers that are honestly like, hell yeah, get me out of here.
It's Halloween night. Give me
I want to go. I want to go to the haunted campus. So they evacuate within 20 minutes. The entire theater is empty.
Cool. All right, so I got keys. I'm trying to think of where if you're gonna start a fire. I feel like.
Well, do we just lock all the doors and then stand outside at them?
We're dealing with gods. I feel like they'd somehow get someone in the building. Like, I mean, like if you want to stand outside, like I can, do a patrol.
Yeah, I'll patrol the building.
You want to patrol outside? I'll patrol inside, or vice versa.
Yeah, Kimmy, what do you want to do?
Okay, so Becca's patrolling outside. Lewis is patrolling inside. Who do I choose?
We can switch, so if you want to try and
Oh, no.
get flirty, you can.
I will go. So, sorry, I'm having horrible brain fog. The movie theater. It's situated in this circle. Can I see the other fires, locations, whatever, from the roof?
Not like you can see the general area.
Mm-hmm.
The apartment complex is probably tall enough that you can see it from the roof.
Got it.
Some of the other places you can see the general area of them, but maybe not the specific storefronts.
But would she be able to see if a fire was happening?
Like some smokies?
100% you'd
Okay.
be able to, yeah.
I will do that, but I'd like to go through the projection booth first.
Yeah, absolutely. Easy. Luce has the keys, so.
Give.
Yeah, so you got some smoochies earlier. Oh, sick, dude.
I don't think she meant it.
I think she meant it, dude.
It's okay. She just did it to shut me up.
Just give yourself some credit.
It's okay. I'm dead anyway.
Hey, that doesn't mean you can't live.
True, but maybe there are other people for me than just Becca.
Oh, you're like into that polyamory thing? That's sick. Hell yeah, dude.
No, just saying that I should put myself out there.
Definitely, dude.
You are also dead.
Yeah, I am, Kim. Kim, are you coming on to me right now?
Do you like dead people?
She has one line.
Roll to turn on.
It worked.
Roll
last
it.
time.
Oh, God. Stop. Did it work?
Hell yeah.
All right, what
dude.
are we talking? Partial or full?
It was an 8.
Okay, so, Lewis, give yourself to Kimmy, promise something you think she wants, or get embarrassed and act awkward.
Oh goodness, we do not have the time right now.
She's close enough.
I will promise you something I think you want, and I will. I'm gonna catch Kimmy by the chin.
Not again.
Not aggressively, but like not beastily, like Becca might. A little more smooth. And I say, we're a little preoccupied, but we can definitely revisit this.
Is Kimmy that girl?
Kimmy's kind of that girl.
I think so.
Oh my god.
Dude, Kimmy Winkler is that girl.
Girl, when she takes off her glasses, it is over for your hook.
Yeah, when she
She's wearing
try that again.
glasses and overalls.
she's got paint on her overalls.
When Kimmy takes off her glasses, it is over for you hoes. Okay?
Yeah. Look. I think dying was the best thing for her.
She should try it more often.
Really got her out of her shell.
So you made this promise of something that you think Kimmy wants, and Kimmy, you go to head through the projection room. Mm-hmm. What do you do there?
So everyone is gone. Like, there's no one in the projection booth.
Nope.
What could there possibly be in a projection booth? Are there like antenna kind of things? I don't know why. No.
There's probably one on the roof.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah, there wouldn't be in the projection room.
Right. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna go through the just through it and up to the roof.
Cool. Yeah, you get up there. It's like a flat open space. There's not a whole lot of like things in the way. A couple vent areas, and then a satellite antenna.
I'm gonna point the satellite antenna to the radio station because that wasn't affected by the fire.
The campus one was. The citywide one, well, I mean, at least one booth of it. There might be another one, but one booth was affected by the fires.
No, like the satellite, like on top of the radio station on campus.
Oh, on top? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna point that satellite to that radio station.
Yeah.
And have it like hooked up in a way. And I had a great idea. I'm gonna go back down to the projection booth, and there's probably some employees' radio that they left behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm going to then climb back up, and for some reason, Kimmy knows how to do this, like hook up the radio to the satellite that then is pointing at the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And then
by doing this and manipulating the radio and connecting it to this satellite, you could potentially get onto a police or firefighters channel.
And Let me get on that firefighter channel, baby. Let me get on that firefighter channel.
Yeah, wonderful. So you get on the fire radio frequency, and you are listening in, and they are talking. There's a bunch of them. You do recognize one voice, Jake Clark, who you met earlier at the radio station, briefly. And they're all on there, and they're talking, and they are frantic, essentially. Like, they're talking about, like, hey, like, 3 units over here, like, we're over here, clear over here, like, checking in, that kind of thing, right? Frantic. And I'll give you more in a moment here, but let's check in on Lewis and Becca. What are you guys doing to kind of secure some stuff here?
Becca is outside, like, slowly kind of walking around the building. Mm-hmm. But I think she's also, for the first time, trying to build it up actively.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And I think she is focusing on the anger and the hate, because I have "you wouldn't like me," which means I can use different emotions for the caged heat ability. Yeah. And she's really, really focusing on what she learned about her dad, the fact that he's somehow involved in this plan of destruction, the fact that nobody in her family has really ever helped her with her issue, but just kind of knew existed and it was there and it was a thing, but brushed it under the rug, and is just actively trying to build this heat because she wants to go feral.
Absolutely. This builds in you, and you have this coursing through your veins, and you're feeling that shift in you, that shift into feralness. And what two do you choose?
I'm gonna say mostly retain human shape, mostly retain intelligence and personality.
Okay.
Which means that I will lose self-control over violence. But I think I don't go all the way darkest self since I'm choosing to do this by myself, but I go a lot less human than I was.
Yeah.
And so almost like beak-like, my face begins to turn. And I kind of start running, and my limbs elongate till I'm much taller than 5'11".
Yeah.
My shoes kind of split, I think, and break off. And it's just this like pointed beaked, clawed, taloned, I think a few feathers pop out sporadically as I take to kind of like sprinting to try to just keep building up that energy around the building.
Fucking hell.
As you are kind of falling into this mindset and falling into this creature that has been a part of you and your bloodline, you are getting kind of like with each with each stamp of your foot on the ground as you're sprinting around here, you're getting images and memories of the creature within you, but not you. And you are seeing other figures like yourself working as hunters and protectors and pets of these gods. And you're getting these images as if they were yours, because they are. And that's kind of another thing that is fueling you into that anger and into that feralness. Lewis, what are you doing?
I just moving, I think, between house to house, specifically keeping an eye on the projection things. I don't think Lewis realizes that film isn't made out of nitrate anymore, which was extremely flammable. And so is like very much like, that's where I would set a fire if I was looking to set a fire, not knowing that it's not flammable anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like zipping around, all vampire-like, just keeping an eye on everything.
Awesome. Kimmy, you are listening in on that radio station, and you hear the chief call an order. And he says something along the lines of, "This address, I need units responding now." And as you kind of turn your gaze up, you do see a tower of smoke in the general direction of where that apartment complex was that you noticed. And you hear the chief go, Clark, respond. Clark. And Jacob Clark does not respond on radio.
Is Becca, like, around the side that I'm currently sitting on?
Becca's making rounds around the building, so if you look long enough, you'll see her.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I think I will shout down to Becca that something is wrong with Jake, and that there's a fire at the apartment complex.
Her head kind of turns bird-like to you, and her eyes have gone completely yellow. And I think there's a instinct to just run towards that apartment building. But I also know that we have a plan, and I'm still mostly mentally here.
Mm-hmm.
But that builds up anger even more, and you see more feathers start to sprout. And I think you see, like, the clothes starting to kind of tear.
Mm-hmm.
And she just keeps running.
Kimmy, you watch as sirens light up the area by that apartment complex, and you can see from your vantage point here, you see the lights and sounds and just jovial happiness happening on campus, and then also the destruction happening just in front of you. And then you see a car pulling up towards the movie theater, 2 headlights, and it stops. And somebody gets out. And Becca, you come face to face with your brother.
I knew it was gonna be Jake.
As he gets out of the car. and starts walking toward the front door in a trance-like state.
I stop in front of the front door and I stand my ground and growl out, "Get out of him."
And you see, and Kimmy, you also see this. Again, that kind of head tilt, as if it's just like trying to fit right in this body. Goes,
I need the key.
and takes another step forward.
I also take another step forward and I say, "Get out of him."
In this moment, Kimmy and Becca, I need you to roll to keep your cool as you feel something try to infiltrate your brain. Lewis, you feel something try to poke at your mind, but your mind, even without you having to do a thing, defends itself. But you felt something, and you know that something is here.
Awesome. I will, I think, run up towards the hatch that Kimmy had gone up from.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can get up onto the roof with Kimmy easy. Kimmy, what did you roll? Love that. Okay, perfect.
Now you level up?
And hey, Becca, what did you roll?
A 10.
Okay, awesome. Becca, you managed to like shred through the pressure of that kind of force trying to break into your mind. Kimmy, you feel so connected to these gods. They are everything. They are who should be ruling this land. You should follow them. They know what they're doing. They understand how to make life better. And you need to set this fire.
So, I just leveled up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take another ghost skin
Okay.
move. And I take Limitless, which is that I can walk through walls and fly.
Walk through walls, disappear, and fly. Much more unique than the other guys.
Yes, you can.
So, I think that Kimmy waits until Lewis is on the roof with her.
Yeah.
And, like, the second that he kind of makes eye contact with her, she'll, like, do the, like, arms out, fall backwards off of the edge of the roof.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Lewis, you see that. I mean, you're too far, even with your inhuman fastness. What is the word? Speed. Fastness. Even with your inhuman speed, you are not able to get there in time. But Kimmy falls off the edge.
It's the dramatic, like, run to the edge and, like, look down sort of thing.
And what does he see when he looks, Kimmy?
She's flying. And back into the movie theater, like, from the back door.
Okay. We'll come back to you in a second. Becca, out in front, you managed to push whatever was in your mind away. And Jacob takes a step forward again, another one. And he goes,
If you won't let me in, I'll be forced to find someone who will.
I will rip you out of him.
Uh-oh.
and he goes,
Good luck.
and rushes forward.
Yeah, talon swipe against the front of Jake's chest.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Roll to lash out for me. And then, Lewis, what are
great.
you doing after you...
Sorry, I have tooth and claw. If you are feral and have lost your human shape, add 1 to your roll when you lash out physically. Just so
Oh,
you-
yeah.
I mean, I think I'd go after Kimmy.
Okay. So you head back down into the hatch?
Well, Kimmy, did you say you went down and then in the back door?
Yeah,
or-
she like dropped and then like did like a little somersault and like went through the walls.
Awesome. Oh, okay. Oh, so you
Like,
just
back
like
into
went
the movie
through.
theater.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just go back through the way I came up then. And yeah, looking for Kimmy then.
Yeah, absolutely. You head back in. Becca,
This
what
feels
did we
weird.
roll?
Yeah, I rolled a 6, but I have a -1 to volatile, and I get that +1, so it's just a 6.
A 6. Okay. So you go to swipe your talons across your brother, and you see... Oh, do you have a string on your brother still? Do you want to use it? Do you want to use it? That'll make your failure a success, a partial.
I don't think so, because I don't think she's actually thinking she's fighting her brother.
Valid. Yeah. So you go to swipe your talon, and he backs out of the way. And again, kind of like Logan earlier, in an almost smoke-like, inhuman way that you do not recognize as your brother. And Kimmy, you're inside. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go to the concession stand. And is it, like, what kind of snacks are there? Is it like a bougie movie theater with, like, actual food, or is it just, like, popcorn and snacks?
It definitely doesn't have, like, everything you'd find at some of our newer ones, but they probably have, like, some nachos and pizza kind of vibe going on.
Great. I'm gonna turn the pizza ovens up to, like, max power. And put the, I rip up a popcorn bucket and put the papers in the pizza ovens.
Yeah.
So they kind of, like, catch flame.
Absolutely.
And I'll leave the doors open.
Heck yeah. So the oven is heating up, and you're throwing those pieces in. Lewis, you arrive at the concession stand and see this.
What you doing there, Kim?
Kim, you turn to look at Lewis, and your eyes are completely hazed over. And while you still feel like you feel like there isn't somebody inside telling you what to do here, Kimmy, but your belief system is so strong. You know that this is the right thing to do. And so you turn to look at Lewis, and Lewis, you see that. And your words are your own here, Kimmy, but that is kind of where your head is at.
This, Lewis, this. She's, like, manic.
Is her eyes all weird?
All hazy, yeah, completely.
Awesome. I'm gonna try hypnotic on Kimmy.
Not again.
Not again. I will pull a string to make that a full success.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you do exactly as I wish and have no idea that anything is wrong. I think I just say, turn it all off. Turn it all off and just come on out here.
Yeah, so Kimmy, there are kind of like two very conflicting things happening in your mind here. I need you to roll to keep your cool.
Jeez. A 7.
Okay. You can pick which side you listen to.
Dark Kimmy?
You've had so much Dark Island.
I know. Tired of it. I think that as Lewis says that to her, the picking at the buttons of her shirt happens again. But the eyes are still glazed over, but you see that tick come back to her. And, like, all of a sudden her arm kind of, like, juts out to the side. Like, she had to fight for that one. And grabs the plug of the pizza oven and, like, yanks it down. So, like, she had that fight in her brain and she won.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's right, Kimmy.
That's right,
That's a
Kimmy.
girl.
Yeah.
Out front, Jacob makes another lunge at you, Becca. And this time, it's like his hands reach towards your head, and he tries to grasp onto your beak-like frame here. And he tries to grasp on, and he does manage to get a handhold onto it. And instead of like a physical force, you feel like a mental pulse the moment that his hands touch you. And you do take 1 harm as this god, this mind breaker, tries again to break into your mind. And Jacob continues to hold you there, and that is where you find him there in that moment.
Is that a choke up moment or?
No, it was a partial. It was a partial success.
Cool.
So you don't choke up there, Becca. You can't act.
Yeah, I mean, I think as he's grabbing onto me, I grab onto him, so we're kind of locked.
Yeah.
And my eyes kind of flick around to his, and I say, damn, I'm untrustworthy like Dad. You should see yourself right now. Just like him in so many ways. Following in his footsteps. I thought you were better than that, Jakey.
So,
and I don't know if
are we
you'll
shutting
allow
down?
me to, yeah, I was gonna say if I can use my beauty in the.
Please, yeah, please.
Okay, or not?
Get his
No, I don't
ass.
want to use that.
Well,
This is my
yeah,
brother.
I mean, they're.
I'm just gonna shut down. Or can I use that, but use it just so I can use my hot?
Yeah, no,
stat?
we can
Is
use
that
that,
okay?
and it can be a different. We'll play with a different.
Okay, yeah,
meaning
I'll
of that,
use
yeah.
that to shut down. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't think I really needed to, anyways. That's an 11 plus 3, so 14.
Incredible. He does not have a string on you, so you could gain one on him, give him a condition, or take a forward.
I think I want him to gain a condition
Okay.
of strong-willed.
Awesome. Yeah, so you have that moment where you kind of appeal to that brother side and poking at things that you know that affect him in ways that similarly have affected you in the past. And you watch he shakes his head and then shakes it again, a little stronger. And with each shake, the haze starts slowly dissipating from his eyes. And a few moments later, your brother stands before you, completely clear-eyed. What the hell just happened? How did I get here? What's going on? Wait, Becca? Becca's...
Run.
And you see he kind of fights a battle there for a second, but ultimately he's strong-willed right now, so he is, he does kind of listen, and he's like, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, this is not my fight. And he goes to back up and leave, and he turns back to you and just goes, thank you. And then gets in his car and books it. Kimmy, Lewis, the two of you see Becca through the front windows of the movie theater after stopping this fire that you nearly started, Kimmy. And Becca, you're standing out in front and you hear chimes, 12 of them, midnight. And you have successfully stopped the fire that could have unlocked the cage. And it is quiet and it is peaceful here. And you have a moment alone, the three of you, after a full day of discoveries, of fear, of fighting. And we'll take this moment here. What do you do?
You know, Bex, that's some sick plumage you got there, dude.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna try to roll to keep my cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Did you fail? Did you just fail?
Yeah, that's a 6.
Solid, dude. Hell yeah.
So Becca, you are not able to push this down right
Fuck!
now. There's something like very clear in your mind right now. You successfully stopped that cage from opening. You've wiped all progress off of the board. But one cage is still open. And you just can't seem to relax fully right now in that moment with that thought. At least not enough to push it all down.
Okay, I guess I'm like this for now.
Dude, kick ass, dude.
You look really nice.
Thank you.
All right. You'll wait here for 3 minutes. I'm going to go get a bottle of something. And we're going to go up to the roof. And we're just going to fucking chill for a bit. Because it's been 14 hours of hell. And I'm done so. So.
Could I have a clear pop? My stomach hurts when I drink dark pop.
I wasn't going to get you pop. It was going to be alcohol.
Alcohol?
Yeah, alcohol. All right.
So, Lewis, you go and you get alcohol.
Yeah.
The three of you end up at the roof of the movie theater, the stronghold that you held against one of the gods of Blackthorn. And is there any last-minute things that you do?
Becca's sitting super awkwardly. She's not used to this body and, like, doesn't quite know how it works yet.
You've definitely not had to casually sit in it.
Yeah.
Does Lewis have the spell book with him?
Yeah, probably.
Kimmy will ask for that spell book from you.
Yeah, I got it from the fire for you.
Thank you. And you'll see her get up and walk towards the back of the movie theater on the roof, and directly above the dumpster. And she'll drop the book into the dumpster.
Aww.
Yay.
And, like, swipe her hands and then come sit back down.
You know, I've got to come clean about something. Kimmy came on to me too, and it was kind of rad.
God.
And on that beautifully awkward note, the three of you sit for a while on Halloween night, listening to the jovial happiness and frights coming from campus, a campus that you protected and no one will ever really know about it. But you will. And while you did stop one cage from opening, there is still one out there. And who knows? They might try again. Game. But yeah, we did it! Yay! So before we end recordings here, I would just love to go around real quick, and I want to give everyone a chance to kind of shout out some of the stuff they're doing, some of the amazing work that they are a part of. We'll start over here with Zach again. Zach, tell us a little bit about where we can find you and what you're doing right now.
Yeah, hi, it's me, Zach and/or Taylor Tuttle.
Sorry. Oops.
Obviously, Nicole and I run this here podcast, and so you're listening to it, so you know that. I do another show called Zach and Griffin's Multiversal Pet Shop on the Ghostlight Media Podcast Network, and where it's been on a bit of hiatus because Nicole and I's life is a little crazy, but we also do a streaming project called One Page Wonderland that everyone here has been a part of at this point, which is very fun, and more news of that will be happening once we settle in our new home. Other than that, I've been working on a project with a Pseudonym Social. It's a different podcast network on a Masks actual play called Tempest Multi that should be coming out in the next couple of months. And then I'm currently working on a horror podcast called The Waning State that will also be coming out at some point. So
Awesome.
Keep your eyes out.
Awesome. Kenzie, tell us a little bit about where we can find you and what you're up to.
Yeah, you can find me on my podcast, Queer PG. By the time you'll be listening to this, we'll have finished up our summer show, which was a horror western called Shades of the West. And we will be premiering our third season on November 7th. So check that out in like a week from this date that you're listening to this at.
Do you have it like any three teasy words about what it is?
Yes. I mean, at this point, it'll probably be mostly out on our socials, but steampunk,
Ooh,
noir,
ooh,
detectives.
I love that.
There you go.
Love that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome. And Mariah, tell us where we can find you and what you've been up to.
Right here and this. These Silent Secrets is the only thing I do.
Hey, you were also a very pivotal role and eventual narrator of a incredible audio drama called The Lafresian Chronicles.
You know, I was going to get there if you just let me talk.
Oh, well, you said that this and that was it, so I'm sorry. I just wanted to plug you and other things if you didn't think about them.
Lafresian Chronicles has wrapped. It is complete. So you can start from the beginning and get the total end of the story, like Zach like Taylor said. I started off
That's fun.
Okay. I started off as a character, and then became the narrator, and Nikki wrote it. Zach's also in it. And sometimes. But even bigger in the 3rd season, so yes.
Amazing. And yeah, I'm Nicole. You can find me on The Silent Secrets, also The Frisian Chronicles, and a bunch of other places. I do too many things sometimes, and that's fine.
That's just kind of,
That's
I
just
think, the
what
trend.
it is. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. See us next time for your regularly scheduled soup group.
Wigglier.
But until then, may your secrets stay hidden, and may your movie theaters never catch on fire.
And finally, Neon Nightmare's Haunted Campus comes to a close. Thank you so much for being a part of this Halloween adventure with us. I want to give a huge shout out to my players, Mariah Clawson, Kenzie Tartaglione, Taylor Tuttle, and of course myself as the MC. Now, if you've made it this far, congratulations. You're about to get some super secret insider knowledge. We've got something very big coming your way. The next season of These Silent Secrets will take place right here in Whitebridge, Washington. And that's right, I will be your MC. We'll be following 4 brand new characters as they navigate their supernatural lives at Wildwood University. So don't worry, we've still got plenty of the soup group story left to come, but get ready for These Silent Secrets Wildwood, coming soon. Keep your eyes peeled. Something wicked this way comes.
This has been a Ghostlight Media production.